So now we are going to do a Chapter 15 tutorial. I'm going to show you the route that includes taking care of mostly everything. We're not going to do the Chapter 15 skip. Chapter 15 pretty much trivializes a lot of stuff here. The video on it's pretty good. I'll show you how to get the skip for free, but I won't actually do the skip itself because Foxy's video is a much better explanation than mine can be. It also has some highlighted elements and stuff that'll make your life a lot easier in terms of understanding it. So let's just get over here, and I'll go over our materia setup. This is mainly going to cover Valk, so I'm just going to do this pretty like a one and done. But for the most part, these fights are pretty consistent if you just follow the same method that I'm doing. I'll do a more in-depth chapter guide later. This is just kind of a quick and dirty lead-in, because this your MP does start becoming tighter on some of these segments. So I'm trying to show you how good MP Absorb is to route in here instead of Elemental, because it'll make MP management literally free for the most part. So we're going to use Wind Magnify, Wind MP Absorb on Cloud. The MP up is negotiable. This could be an HP up. Probably should be an HP up, to be honest. But there's some points where I don't use MP Absorb and I need that extra MP up. Those may be few and far in between, so I may actually cut that later now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, Stagger. We've got Magic Up, First Strike, and ATB Boost. So basically everything here is needed. This can be HP up, like I said. But you never can tell. So I do already have my materia set up, so I didn't do any of my switches that I would normally do leading into this. We will have to do one menu leading into the boss, though, to set things up. So Lightning Synergy is going to be needed here instead of Wind Synergy. We do still want Wind on Barret, so this is still important. Skillmaster will not come up. Stagger shouldn't come up. Lightning Healing might come up as usual. Binding will not affect Valkyrie at all because it's a machine, so we're not going to have any use for that. Same thing here. You can luck up. You can luck up twice or one luck up, whatever you want. You can go with HP ups if you really need it. Barret's HP is usually high with EKG Cannon anyway, so you usually don't need to bother with HP ups. Tifa, we will need this refocus. This is actually important. As silly as it seems, we are going to be refocusing in this boss fight, and we're going to get a limit off too. First Strike, we definitely want this on Tifa. We need to start out with that burst of ATB so that I can start to fight with her properly. Ice Elemental, this can be anything. This could be Lightning. So that's what we'll have it as. Just like Lightning would be a better route for a newer runner, because this will help us with the Blast Ray fights, and this will help with the boss. So we'll just assume that this is Lightning Elemental. You can make this Ice. You can't do Wind, obviously, because Cloud now has 2 of the 3 Wind materia, so she's not going to get it. It can also be Fire, too, if you would like. But Wind works out better for just... Or not Wind, but Ice works out better for the rest of the game from here. It's only here where Lightning would be beneficial. Healing Parry, same old thing. Healing Parry, you want to keep both of them. Skillmaster should not activate. Assist will activate, so we do need that. Binding, we will not use, and it does not have any benefit because the boss cannot be berserked. One of the reasons that you need to remember, Binding is a very odd materia where it doesn't give a bonus like Subversion, Time. Barrier also gives a bonus, but I've removed all my barriers to make my save file a little bit faster, but you can also use Revival to get stat bonuses too. These stat bonuses are very, very minuscule and don't usually end up leading to a lot unless you can equip several of them. So it is something to keep in mind, that it could push the needle and help you with smaller damage ranges in certain cases. Alright, so what we're going to start with is Mythal Saber, Chain on Cloud just to keep him alive easier, EKG Force, and Fury Ring. And then we have Metal Knuckle, Force Bracelet, and Goddard Dumber. So Twilight of the Gods. What we need for shortcuts, you're going to need all of these shortcuts for this chapter. Barret, you should not need these two. These are backups just in case and holdovers from previous chapters, so you can change those to whatever you want. Tifa will, you'll need a tier 1 spell, whatever spell you're going to give her, equipped to her elemental. Blizzard is a little bit of a pain in the ass because it doesn't auto-target, but the trick here is that Valkyrie normally is weak to lightning and wind, but in hard mode is only weak to wind. So, lightning is not... That's why we're not using lightning, really. And we're using wind, because it's the only thing he's weak to. Star Shower can be used, but mainly, you're actually going to use these three to get through this fight. Star Shower you want for most of the chapter, so... Star Shower you want for most every chapter, so... we're going to start with Cloud here and just head on through. So, MP Absorb is going to keep us at max MP, so our spells are going to be full power most of the time. You want to make sure you target this left guy here with Arrow Magnify. That your Magnify will hit those other two collectively and get a double hit. And then Barret will follow up with a Lightning to finish off that left one if you didn't hit it hard enough. So you always want to make sure to target that lone one because the other two will get hit by magnified spells. So right here, I'm just going to ATB boost right off the bat. Doesn't matter. Your ATB is too random to like go without it. So we'll just arrow both of them. Wait for my stagger to get through. Arrow magnify and move on. So you see my MP is still max now. So next fight I'll start with full juice again. I'll show you all the MP crates I know of in this chapter.
So that's
just in case you want to go without MP Absorb. Just keep in mind, it is, when Cloud's in the lead and you have no way to grab the crates with Tifa during combat, it's a 5-second investment because of how long it takes Cloud to swing and put the sword away. So, just keep that in the back of your head. And remember, the MP crates give you much less MP because it's 10%. They give you less MP if you don't go with double MP up. So, the MP ups normally are what make this viable as a strat. So over here, these guys can be kind of a pain in the butt, so we're just going to somersault and wait. Hopefully they'll, that's what you're looking for right there. And then you can kind of do whatever you want. I'll just Braver here. You could have Blade Burst, you could do anything, you could cast a spell, whatever. So I'm going to show you how the skip works right here. So you need to look down, and then when the camera pans like that, you want to save. This should work. Yeah, I want that. And then load. You want to get in here as quickly as possible, but this should bug out your movement speed over here, so that as long as... There you go. Yep. You can just kind of manipulate the camera on your own. And as long as you get up here before this dialogue finishes, you're out of bounds.
Not much choice.
So that's just a quick showing. Save load can easily get you this skip. But if you're using glitchless, all you have to do is just ignore that. You can just look up, oh look, it's Valkyrie, whatever. And if you do it by habit without thinking about it and you want to do glitchless, just wait. As long as you wait until Cloud starts talking,
not much choice.
And then bam, you'll always get it. You'll drop in every time. So there you go. Now we're going to start with this. Aurora right here and a couple of swings should get you through. Remember, Barret has Synergy, so you're going to want to use that as much as possible. Switch back to Barret there. That will make his overcharge hit those guys as they come through. We're going to just spam some Arrow Magnify here. Tifa will Star Shower that guy, and we're going to keep on moving. Aurora. We want to get a little bit of MP here. ATB. There. That should get us through everything, hopefully. I did kind of push my luck. I should have ATB boosted much sooner. So I'll show you again how you should do this fight without having a complete brain fart. You gotta get ATB in at the right time. So this, swing at the dog to get the stagger and the additional ATB. Move over here, Aurora, and then right about before Cloud casts, switch to Matt overcharge, so it'll kill those two guys. So you're gonna come over here, ATB boost, arrow, and that we want to Star Shower that dude. There are MP crates right there. Those crates I passed are MP. I just wanted to hit him on purpose. Maybe over here. We want to make sure we have enough ATB to get through the rest of this. And, okay, he's the last guy. So we'll just get rid of him and go on our merry way. We are going to be a little bit low on MP coming out of this because a lot of these enemies are not weak to wind. Alright, so we'll come up here real quick and push through this fight. This fight is pretty simple. Just a ATB boost, switch to Tifa, arrow, wait for it to kill, arrow. You could use Catastrophe on some of these fights if you want to do this in a different way. That guy shouldn't have survived, but he got the M barrier off in time. We're going to take this fight on purpose so that we can do parry uppercuts, which is a much faster form of movement. Even if you're doing regular parries, it's still much quicker movement overall. You want to start this fight, Star Shower into Somersault. So you do need Star Shower for these guys, but that's it. We're doing Arrow to get a stagger mid-Somersault, because Barrett will follow up with a Synergy Lightning, and that will build enough stagger so that the second kick of Somersault will one-shot those guys. Normally, I'll probably do a more in-depth guide with this later, but I just want to do one quick run-through with it, kind of explain how things go. Notice that my MP is still maxed out. For the most part, I'm just about at max. Here's another MP crate you can grab if you're going no MP Absorb. I would totally suggest doing MP Absorb, though. It's very much worth it. If you're going to be grabbing crates, make sure you're healing up before you get them so you get all your MP out of it. Like, I should have made sure to heal with Barrett and Tifa before I grabbed that, so they got that 4 MP back from the Cure spell. I believe Barrett's EKG actually has Cure reduction. I might be wrong, though. So some of his stuff has magic cost reduction and cure cost reduction. I know for sure LMG has healing reduction. So this fight over here can be pretty obnoxious. I'll show you the easy way to get the MP crate here and take care of this fight. You could use Catastrophe in the old-fashioned way. And it wouldn't break the crate for you, but it's not super necessary. So we'll just arrow that guy, and then arrow the Drake. Alright, so now we got this guy staggered, and we'll just True Strike him. Everybody works to us, and there you go.
Was never in doubt.
Now, the downside to not doing the skip is we had to do all those fights, but as you can tell, they're not very difficult, so we don't lose a ton of time to not doing it. But it is enough to validate having a separate route and having a separate category for glitchless. There's also a skip in Chapter 11, I believe I mentioned, before I did the Ghoul one, and you can skip Ghoul and Allegor if you know what you're doing. So right here,
I go.
You can just Arrow Magnify or Un-Arrow, whichever you want to do. Recharge. We'll finish this up. Well, that's a bummer. I'm going to take a lot of damage anyway, so... there's another crate over here that we can grab. And pick some more MP up. Excuse me for that. I got, like, a little bit of gunk in the back of my throat, and it's making my brain kind of act stupid. So if you walk here, and then kind of bonk for a little bit, and then bonk for a little bit, you should be able to get through all of these like that. That was really lucky. You don't normally squeeze through that bullet chain in the stairwell there. So you can come over here, Star Shower that guy, Somersault, then we're going to build a little bit of art here, get out of the way, Arrow this guy, ATB Boost, Arrow Magnify, and that will kill the other one, and then we'll Arrow him again, which should be enough to kill. There you go. And just so you know, there's MP right here. It's this one I kicked, actually. And then there's an MP crate. I believe it's, let me make sure. I believe it is this one. Yep, there you go. Just so you know, so which one you're aiming for, right? It's the crate that was right here, and then it's the other crate that was right here. So there you go. Now we're back at full MP again, so this will be pretty quick. So we're just going to Arrow here, and what I'm going to do is switch to Tifa on purpose. Tifa has a very nasty habit of activating their physical dodge of the Helitroopers, so that's why you switch and keep her from doing anything. So now we're up to the boss. Everybody heals up. So this boss is kind of interesting. What we're going to do here is I'm going to change out for Synergy on Cloud. We're going to be spamming Synergy with Cloud as our majority of damage. So this first phase, we need to run up out of this little cutscene And 3 waves of Gatling bullets is what, once he starts the 4th, that will pretty much end the cutscene as long as we've been straightforward. So you can tank some of the bullets to make the Gatling gun bullets come quicker, or you can dodge from side to side, take a little bit of a time loss to save HP. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to arrow go with Cloud, switch to Barret, and then overcharge to build his ATB because he doesn't have first strike, and I'm going to need him to cast some spells in the 2nd and 3rd phase. And then I'm going to refocus with Tifa. Oh, so all of that's going to be happening all at the same time. And then once Tifa gets done refocusing, I'm going to double check and make sure Cloud has at least 1 ATB. Or would have 1 ATB, and then we're going to ATB boost. This is going to be kind of a pain in the ass. You can do it in phase 2. But I find that it's much better to do. You can kind of like lame it out and do it a little bit slower.
Run, damn it, run!
So, dodge, dodge, dodge. You can make Barret take most of the damage here because he does get critical damage bonus. So, Aeroga, overcharge, switch to Tifa, refocus. Cloud's got really good ATB. So we'll just switch to him and ding ding. Alright, so what we're going to do here is Tifa's going to Thunder, and then Thunder. And then what we're going to want to do is ATB boost with Cloud, which we missed, but that's fine because his ATB is good enough. So I'm just going to move off to the side and ATB boost with Cloud to get this done. You can do it in here, but sometimes you miss it, so it's just like ATB boost, Cloud, Aeroga, Aerora, now switch to Barret. The reason I switched to Barret was to get an Arrow Synergy out, and then bam, phase done. You could do that through shortcuts if you want, tactical menu. These fights end up becoming a lot more crazy, so we just want to arrow real quick, and then we can Aeroga, because that's going to weaken the thing. Okay, I need to be careful here, because Cloud's going to end up getting himself killed. Switch over, get Cloud out of here. Tifa. Focus strike again. Okay, so I accidentally got her tagged, but that's fine. So you need to be very careful with a laser. So basically, you don't really have to do much here. You could cast spells if you want, but that's not going to help. So the thing is, with the laser, it doesn't actually, like, shoot the Valkyrie the direction you would think it would. So, like, if the laser shoots behind Valkyrie, it doesn't push him towards the center platform. It pushes him relative to where the character that triggered it is. So Tifa's the one that triggered it. If she had been in the center, it would have pushed Valkyrie away towards the edge. And Valkyrie can clip onto the edge in such a way that he's unstaggerable. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So make sure you stay on the outer rim with Tifa or whoever triggers the laser, so that the Valkyrie doesn't get shot off into an unstaggerable state. And then it's just you're praying that he comes in and lets you stagger him. So we'll do this a little bit slower, and I'll show you kind of what can happen with the laser, and then I'll do another round of Valkyrie. Valkyrie, unfortunately, takes a while because of this stupid minigame beforehand. But, yeah, you can, like, trigger that really quick. That saves a little bit of time. Okay. So, once again, Aeroga, switch to Barret, shoot and overcharge. Tifa into refocus. And then, if you're really worried about it, you can take a swing with Cloud here. Switch over to Tifa, Thunder. Thunder, and then Cloud ATB boost. It's very hard. It can be very hard to get Cloud's ATB boost in. I'm trying to show it off rather than just doing it without thinking about it. You don't have to, like, get it in this phase. It's nice if you can, though. So we're going to ATB boost, Aeroga, Aerora, switch over to Barret. So we needed to wait for Cloud's arrow in that situation. Switching, I cast Aerora to pregame the spell with Barret, and then, I don't know why I'm doing it that way. So, what you can do, if you're really worried about this, you can stop Valkyrie, but you can also switch to Cloud to make sure that that goes through. The Aerora will always stagger the boss. Okay, Cloud, I need you to get the fuck out of here. So, the reason he got pushed that way is because I was Cloud. Luckily, Tifa was in a good spot, so you can just True Strike for a bunch of stagger and then Somersault. And that should one-shot the boss. So I'll show you how this works with ice, which is not the best way to do it. Lightning is more safe because you can trigger this stuff again and again later with it. Okay. Okay. So load. Oh wait, did I? No, I think this is the right one. This should be for Valk. Yeah. All right, so all we're gonna have to do is synergy here. So we're not going to have lightning elemental here. We're gonna have ice. So we're gonna do this with blizzard, which makes this a little bit more obnoxious, but still works all the same. You just need to make sure Cloud goes into the second phase with 2 ATB, and that's it. If you don't need to use ATB boost, it really doesn't matter. You can always ATB boost before you do anything with Tifa, if you really want to take it safe, refocus. Cloud's actually pretty close to the proper ATB count anyway, so we'll just do that. And then Blizzard. So we already got the ATB in. So you want to start this phase with Tifa, so that Cloud and Barret will not be targeted by the boss. So that way they can cast their spells without getting shot to hell. So if you're really worried about it, you can move away with Tifa. So what I'll do is okay, what you want to do is doop, Arrow Ga, and then Barret, Arrow Ra. Switch over to Barret. You gotta make sure that you get in there before that spell's cast, so you get the additional arrow from Cloud, and that'll be enough to stop. You can stop this phase if you're worried about missing the arrow Ra, but it's not necessary. It makes ATB management a pain in the ass if you're bothering with it. So you want to arrow with Cloud. He'll hit hard enough to break, and then go in with him. And then we're just gonna try and focus a few times here. Okay, Barret's okay, whatever. True strike. Boom. So if you stagger with Tifa, you're going to get your limit back. But if you fail to stagger with Tifa, you can just as easily follow up with just folk true strikes to keep pushing the damage values. So we'll do one more, and that'll be it for this boss, because the whole chapter is quite extensive. This chapter, very few people have run through it recently, so I just wanted to make sure to show that off, because there's probably very few runs to pull from and take a look at things. So yeah, for the boss, you want Wind Synergy, Wind, MP Absorb. MP up isn't needed, Stagger, Magic up, First Strike, yep. So Lightning, Magnify isn't needed. You just need the Wind on Barret now. And you don't, yeah, I think that's it. You don't really need anything else. Tifa needs an elemental materia, refocus, First Strike, and assist. The double Blizzard is triggering assist, and the double Blizzard is triggering assist and 2 synergy arrows, which is ripping through Valkyrie's HP in phase 1. I used to use synergy on Barret, but I ended up switching over to this for glitchless. I'll probably switch back for the other category, so we'll switch over, and then we want to refocus with Tifa. Alright, so here's the thing, right? This is why I do it the way I do it. Blizzard. I got the ATB boost in. There you go. So, that's why I do it the way I do, because sometimes Cloud won't have enough ATB to just ATB boost right off the bat with a couple of swings while you're waiting for refocus. And there's nothing you can do about that. You can only ATB boost from the shortcut menu, so unfortunately you're kind of stuck with that. Switch over to Barret. That's probably not going to trigger. And then we're gonna have to go for another arrow, just real quick. Oh, that's really obnoxious. That is my fault. I need to trigger another arrow with Cloud. There we go. The problem is Cloud got shot out of the arrow because I waited too long. So, what you're trying to do is just get an arrow out of Cloud. So, Arrow Ra, overcharge. Arrow Ga.
All set.
Barret's gonna eat that, isn't he? Alright, Tifa got it.
Keep it up.
Twin Strike and Somersault. So the reason I somersaulted there is because I knew she wasn't going to get hit by the laser, because she has invincibility during somersault. So if you time your limit right, you can just damage gate right through the laser. So that's the best I can do to kind of show off Valkyrie. There's a couple other ways to deal with him, but I feel like this is one of the better ways that works best with glitchless. So we will move on to the next thing right now. I guess I'll show off specimen. Alright, see you guys later. Hope this helps. Bye.